Alright, in this video we're going to be going over the cut fill application in iCON site. A lot of cool features in here, a lot of things that will show the basics, just putting in an offset and reading cut and fill, using it like a grade rod like most systems do, and then some of the advanced stuff that makes the cut fill app special on iCON. So if we go into the cut fill application, so right now anywhere you walk around on site, so a guy walking around, it's giving you a cut fill value up here at the top right, and also giving you your current elevation wherever you're standing. So as you walk around, you'll see it turns blue. It's green when it's on grade, red in a cut. Also the dot on the bottom turns blue. If you was to measure a point, it will leave a blue or green or red dot there as you measure. If you wanted to go in and do a vertical offset, so you're cutting out, you need to take 4 inches off this pad. We can go into toolbox and hit offset. Now we can type in either 0.33 negative for 4 inches, or if we can't remember our conversions, we don't want to flip a rule back and forth or calculator, we can just hit 4, hit the inch button, and then hit minus. Hit the green check, and then you can see that it's converted the done the math for us, put in our vertical offset of 0.33, so we're still working in tenths, and upgraded our cut and fill to match that offset. So now as we walk around, we're checking subgrade on the pad. So that's what you're typically used to seeing on most systems. So we'll take it a little bit further here and what iCON can do. If we go to the eye right here, and you can hit MultiView config. You can split the screen in half, a third and 2/3, or 2/3 and a third. So I'll do this third and 2/3. Just clicking on this side over here to make this the one I want to change. Now I can hit the eye, hit Foreman. So now I have a nice big cut fill indicator on that side. Just makes it a little easier on the eyes when you're out on site checking grade. What we can also do is we'll turn on the cross-section view. I'll turn off the Foreman view. So I'll go over here to this ditch. So now if I'm walking along this ditch, it's actually showing me a cross section over here of the profile of that ditch. So as I'm walking along, it's generating a cross section. I haven't loaded in any cross section files, but it's generating it from direction of travel on the surface model. So that way you can, stake your high and low points and see where everything's at in a nice horizontal cross section view. I think what the biggest advantage is, I'm going to put it back in single view. So most rovers, whenever you're done using them, they go back in the truck or the job trailer, and they're not being used for the rest of the day. So if you have machine control on site, you might use your rover 30% or 50% of the day, and then it gets put up and that investment's not making you any money. With the iCON system, we have an external port that on the bottom of the receiver, and we can put a dozer antenna, just a cheap GPS dozer antenna, out on a pan, pull pan tractor, big DAT or something like that, where you're just using a big push machine where you don't need automatics. But we can, instead of putting this in the job trailer, we can just throw it on a machine, slap the iCON tablet inside the cab, hook it to machine power so it runs all day, and then use it as indicate machine control on a machine. Get a lot of value out of the rover instead of just half a day at best. So to do that, all we would do is go and hit the letter I right here, and then we would go into our Foreman settings, and we'll just switch it to, let's just say it's a tractor, pulling a scrape box. So inside of here, we give it its pole height, and that pole height would be saved to the whatever we selected up here. So the height from the cutting edge up to the top of the pole we mounted our dozer antenna on. And then we have a blade reference point. We can put in the width of the blade. Where that comes in handy, we can say we want a reference point on the right hand side. If you're driving along the curb with the right edge of your blade, you can select that curb line, offset it 2 foot or 4 foot, and it'll give you a line going back and forth telling you when you're that far behind your backup curb. So now if I hit the green check, now it's giving me, it'll have my width, and I can select my reference line, doing everything I was just saying, but it'll be dimensioned correctly for this machine, riding around and keep getting value out of your system. So that's a nice feature. Also in the Foreman settings, you have this sloping pole option. So as you're getting closer and closer to grade, you're getting closer and closer to design slope. So when you turn that on, it's going to assume you're on you're getting close or on the design slope percentage. So it'll adjust for the tilting of the pole, the height lost with the pole leaning over, going up and down slope surfaces. It's not like our tilt rover where you can lean it all the way over, but anything you would put a tractor pan on or a D8 or something where you're looking to be within a tenth or two, you're no problem there. You're going to be tighter than that on fairly flat ground anyway. So you do have that option. Now, while they're riding around these big push machines, we can go into the Foreman settings again, and we have this generate cut fill grid and show the cut fill grid. So I'm going to green check that. This is where I was doing some earlier, but we can hit start grid logging, and as we ride around, it will actually shade it and fill it in so you can see what areas you have gotten to within your grade tolerance. So, if we go back and, because it's simulator, my cut fill is going to jump a lot when I change the elevation, but there we go. So, that this became a fill over here. It'll just cover it back up. So as you ride and work all day, eventually the idea is you'll get everything to go green for you. Gray when you're off the surface, and then back to blue, red, or green as you get closer to grade. You can pause it at any time, start it over, and you can actually even save it, print it out to show what you've done for the day, or just export it off as a PDF to view it. So you have those options as well. Let's go back to the pole for a second. I'm going to turn off the generate cut fill and show grid. So now we're back to just a regular rover pole. All right, so what I was showing earlier with the where you store the point and it'll leave the color dot. So that'll also generate a stakeout report. So if I threw it on a four-wheeler or a side-by-side and I'm riding the site, especially with the tilt rover, we can go in and do automatic logging. We can have all these different options for how you want it to take the shot. You can do just distance, time. I prefer distance and or height. So if a slope comes up on you really quick, you don't miss the bottoms and tops as much. So I'm going to say I want to take a shot every 10 foot of horizontal distance travel, or for this example, we'll just say 1 foot of elevation change. If any of those two things occur, it's going to take a measurement. So we'll turn that on and hit start. And now as we ride around the site, it's going to automatically fill all that in and create the basically a color map for you. And then when you export it out, it'll have the cut fill values on every shot you took. Really nice report for you. There is some more stuff we can do in here. Like I say, I'm referencing the line, putting in stationing, so we can do basically station and offset. But that's the basics, kind of show you the advantage of the iCON software. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and feel free to leave any comments if you have any questions. Thank you.